Today I'm gonna give you 4 spinal decompression exercises that you can do right at home that cost you absolutely nothing. If you have a herniated or bulging disc, if you ruptured your disc like I did and was diagnosed with degenerative discs, maybe you have been told that you should do traction, or maybe you did do traction and it didn't work like me. I'm gonna give you 4 simple, safe exercises that you can get the same effect right from home without making your back pain worse. If you're new here, my name is William and I teach chronic low back pain sufferers just like you how to ditch the medical model and take back control over your chronic low back pain for yourself by mastering your mindset, improving your movements, and building smarter strength. So if you feel like you have tried everything, maybe you've had surgery, maybe you haven't had surgery, but you know another round of injections is not what you need, this is the channel for you. This first exercise will probably take you a little bit by surprise because you're not actually pulling yourself apart, at least not with tools. What we're gonna do is use your breath. I'm gonna teach you a very simple, deep belly breathing strategy that will help us get the central nervous system to relax, let go, and allow a little bit more movement in that lower back. Check this out. So there's a lot of breathing exercises that you can do and different ways of breathing, but what I think it has become one of the best strategies for using breath to relax the low back, especially in tight, tense, irritated, chronic back pain situations, is the way I'm about to describe here right now. So listen to the cues that I mention or that I cover, because the devil's in the details. So you got to make sure you do the details and you really listen to what I'm saying and do it, and you should be good. So get into a on your back position where you feel nice and comfortable. From here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our feet around shoulder width apart. It doesn't really matter. As long as you feel relaxed, you can truly kind of let go. In this position, we're not trying to flatten our back. We're not trying to create a weird big arch. We're just trying to find a neutral position. So that gives you a little bit of arch. If you have more of an arch in your low back, it's totally fine. I'm not too worried about that. What we're trying to do is get our breath focused into one area. So what I want you to do is shut down from basically from your neck to the base of your ribs. We're not gonna be breathing into this area or expanding at all. What we're trying to do is isolate and point our breath down into our stomach. So what I like to do is have the person take their hands and make kind of like a diamond shape like this, and we're gonna put it on our lower stomach. So our full stomach is being covered and our fingers are pointing down in towards our groin. From here, what we're gonna do is we're not just gonna take a bunch of deep breaths into our stomach. We're not trying to do that. Yes, we're gonna be filling our belly with air, but what I want you to think about is you're going to have a strong inhale, and I want you to bring all that air down into your stomach, and your belly should obviously be coming up. But more importantly, what I want you to focus on is the exhale. So the exhale, I really want you to isolate and to really focus on a very slow, controlled exhale. Almost so slow where it takes more thought to go that slow than effort, right? So obviously when you inhale, exhale, it can be a very fast thing. So what we're gonna do is take a deep breath in. We're gonna expand breathing into our stomach. Our hands should come up. We should feel our fingertips even moving some, so it's not just isolated here, but we're trying to get everything into our groin to come up some, and then also forcing or pushing air or some expansion into our back muscles. So again, we're not literally putting air into our back muscles. We're trying to encourage a sense of letting go in the back with these back muscles. So breathe in. And your exhale should be super, super slow. Now, obviously I'm talking, I can't go but so fast or so slow, but the goal is to really emphasize a very slow exhale. And what you're looking for is these back muscles to kind of let go. If you have a lot of tension, tightness in this area, maybe when you're doing this, a really slow sense of exhale, you might feel them kind of twitch or quiver a little bit. There's lots of different feelings and sensations that you can have when doing this exercise, but the goal here is to emphasize the exhale. Nice belly breathe in, and then a slow 8, 12, 24, 40 seconds even. Exhale, going out, and really focusing on letting go of that lower back area. Before we jump into this next decompression exercise, I want to let you in on a free workshop that I just put together. If you've tried exercise, if you've tried injections, you've tried PT, you've tried physiotherapy, all the things that you've tried have only gotten you either short-term relief, temporary relief, or you always find yourself having to go back to get readjusted to fix what is now broken yet again, week after week after week. There's a reason for that. I call it the hybrid relief method, and it prioritizes exercise last. It's a very different approach to chronic back pain, but what it has led hundreds and hundreds of students all around the world to get out of pain. And I teach it to you. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. I break down the three biggest factors, the three biggest areas that you need to be putting all of your attention. Forget all the things that you've been taught or what you're doing now, PT, physio, chiro, acupuncture, injections, forget it all. Look at these three key pillars, look at these three key factors, and start to implement right away. fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. It's yours free, my gift for checking out this video. Now let's jump back in. This second exercise is something that you can do at home or even at your office. Most of us have some kind of office chair or a bed that you sleep in or a couch that you have access to no matter what part of the day that you're in. I'm gonna break down a very simple, gentle way of using these tools to decompress your spine. Check this out. So the second form of decompression is, I want you to kind of visualize this as being a lot of different things. It could be a mattress, like the side of your bed. It can be a countertop. It can be a couch arm, or the back of a couch, or a big stool, or a box, right? Or a fence, or whatever you kind of have access to. What we're trying to do is safely and gently give our low back a little bit of decompression, but we're keeping a lot of control in our hands, right? That's the key thing. When you're doing things like inversion tables and things like that, or hanging from a bar even, I'm gonna show you a different version of hanging from your bar here today. But in this one here, start very simple, start very comfortable, prioritize comfort, okay? So what we're gonna do is, I'm just gonna take this box. It's a very simple process. And what you wanna do is lean onto this box, and I wanna hold my body weight up using my forearm. So I'm kind of in this feet on the ground. My feet aren't hanging. This box isn't so big where I'm just like, I'm quivering trying to hold myself up. My feet are definitely a part of this decompression situation. From here, I'm gonna adjust and come a little bit close to the edge of this box, and I'm gonna support my upper body. I'm just gonna use my shoulders and my upper back to kind of allow myself to let go of my low back. And what I'm trying to do is create a little bit of decompression or traction on the low back, but in a safe way. Now, this is a really good time where you can practice that breathing exercise. So if you feel some tension building, or if you're pulling, or you feel like this really intense, too much of a stretch, back off, right? We're not trying to push through pain. We're not trying to get a deep, hard, intense stretch. We're just trying to get a little bit of decompression down in the lower back. When you're in the position, you feel comfortable, you feel safe, this is where you can do a little bit of belly breathing. So I'm gonna go into my stomach, let go of that low back. I'm gonna exhale. As I'm exhaling, I'm simply just trying to let go of the low back area. Let that kind of stretch feeling happen. I'm not trying to pull on muscles. Fill the belly up with air. You might find that simply breathing into your stomach in this position acts as traction alone, because not only are you kind of hanging and you are trying to relax and be kind of loosey-goosey down below, you're also breathing in and you're building compression into that stomach, and it's pushing out and causing more of a little bit of a pulling, but it's gentle. You want to always prioritize a gentle pulling. Breath in, slow breath out, and allow that low back to hang, to wiggle, get soft and relaxed. That's the key thing here. Spend about maybe 15 to 30 seconds in this position. You don't want to be hanging out for 2, 3, 4 minutes, and just listen to your body and see how your body feels after that 30-second mark. This third one is probably one of my favorite ones. Most people have a stability ball at home, or maybe you have access to one in the gym. That's all you're gonna need for this exercise. It's very simple, it's very gentle. Again, really quick, I wanna remind you, do these one at a time. You won't necessarily use every single one of these to decompress your spine. What you're trying to do is look at the different types of variety of spinal decompression, of relaxation, meditation type of positions that you can get into to kind of help the body relax. So don't just do one. More is not better. You really want to focus on executing it perfectly and being really tuned into how your body's responding. Now, I'm going to show you this stability ball one. Let's check it out. This third way of getting simple decompression in the low back is just using a stability ball. This is a smaller stability ball. I would recommend getting a bigger one than this. I'm not sure what size this one is, but it's probably one of the smaller ones that you can get. I would say go big, and the ones that you can kind of barely wrap your arm around that you would typically find in a commercial gym. Those are better just because it takes up more space. Like I can wrap my hands around this pretty significantly. So if you're a smaller person, might be good, but start with a bigger ball. Now there's lots of ways that you can do this. I couldn't really just pick one way. Because this one way might not be good for you, but it might be good for someone else, and there's like 4 other ways. So I'm gonna try to give you a few different samples of ways you can approach basically the same thing, okay? What I started doing at first is the one using a bench, and basically what you're doing here is I'm gonna have this ball, I'm gonna lay over this ball, and I'm going to straddle the bench, and I'm gonna roll forward. And what I'm doing is it's kind of getting the whole side of the bed decompression type of strategy, but my feet are still planted, so I'm not just hanging off the side of this ball. I'm rotating or I'm rolling really slowly over this stability ball as I focus on relaxing my low back. So you might feel more pull back here, you might feel more pull right here. Regardless, what we're trying to do is not sit through a stretch. Again, this is not stretching the low back. We don't want to focus on that. What we're trying to do is to focus on our breathing, calm this area down, and then use this tool in this one way to bring some gentle decompression to this area. You can also try it while sitting. This is where we kind of start getting a little bit more variety. So I would take the ball here like this. I would give it a big bear hug. I'm gonna open my feet up, and I'm simply going to come forward on this ball until I kind of wedge it inside of my leg, and I'm gonna gently hang out, okay? This may not be a great position for you, just depending on if you have symptoms while sitting. You wanna actually be hanging off this right here. You may have symptoms doing this, so if you do not keep doing it. But this, as long as you are holding and hugging this ball, it's gonna restrict you from going all the way down, and you're gonna feel a gentle decompression pull into the low back. Same thing goes with standing up. I call this a hinge version. So what you do with the ball is I'm going to hold it here, and I'm going to hinge back, so my butt is going back, and I'm gonna rest my upper body on this ball, and I'm almost in a sitting, very comfortable position here. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna simply rock and decompress that lower back. To come out of this, if you have pain with bending over, or maybe coming out of a flex position causes you pain, then what you wanna do is emphasize that hinge and roll up very slowly like this, going back into it, coming down gently, butt goes back, going to the point where now the ball is resting on the tops of my thighs, and I can just hang out and dangle, and I'm in a very comfortable, relaxed position, and I can breathe and relax that low back and get a little bit of pulling. So a few different ways you can use the stability ball to get some gentle decompression, but again, don't chase the stretch that you might be feeling. You really want to kind of go in and out of this decompression type of thing. Spending 3 minutes in that position is not what you want to do. 30 seconds, 45 seconds, see how your body responds, and then either add or take away from there. This fourth and final one is probably the more aggressive version of spinal decompression. This kind of takes me back to my own personal story when I used to run 24-hour gyms, and I'd be standing and sitting, and I was dealing with some back pain at the time, and I would be constantly going out to the gym floor, hanging from the pull-up bar and like jerking myself down to where I would like pull myself up and then let myself fall really quick to get some separation and hopefully a release or a pop in my low back, which led to a lot of hanging from bars, thinking that that was going to help me, but it caused a lot of instability in my low back and blah, 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 blah. Case in point, you don't want to do that, okay? But I'm gonna give you this strategy. It's a little bit different version of the hanging from a bar strategy. If you're very, very sensitive and just simply hanging with your feet dangling from a bar didn't work, this might be a little bit better option for you to try. Check this out. All right, so hanging from a bar, the fourth and final decompression strategy that I think is safe for people who have lower back pain, disc herniations, bulge, dealing with some sciatica. Again, this is not medical advice. You gotta make sure that you're listening to your body, and if you have any kind of severe situation going on, go see a doctor, because this can be harmful. So you gotta be careful and always take things little bite-sized chunks at a time when you're applying it to your pain profile, okay? So when it comes to hanging from a bar, what I used to do when I had a ruptured L5-S1 disc, and I still have it, and degenerative discs above that site, that was 14 or so years ago when I was given that diagnosis, I was always hanging from a bar. I would pick the largest pull-up bar I could find so my feet would hang. I would hang there for so long, and at the last minute, I'd take a deep breath in, exhale, and I'd lift myself up and pop myself down just to get that separation. Ooh, it felt good when it popped. When it didn't pop, it was a guaranteed 2-week flare-up. So what I'm gonna teach you instead is to not do that and actually take some of your body weight off of your body when you're hanging, so you can last longer because your hands don't get fatigued and it's not so much separation, so much weight on that low back that may not be good for you. So when you're dealing with hanging from a bar, you wanna have something that's tall enough where you can grab and stand. And if you can't, if you don't have something, then grab a bench, right? If you have a big commercial gym pull-up bar that you have to like jump up to because it's so high, then just grab a bench and bring a bench under your feet so that when you do jump up there, you can rest your feet on that bench. What we're gonna do is practice what we've learned with relaxation, with breathing, exhaling slowly, trying to relax this low back area, except instead of hanging 100% of our weight off, we're going to take weight off by putting our feet onto that bench or those blocks or the floor, whatever you have. And I'm gonna sit down into this decompression. Now, even right now, I'm not putting 100% into my hands. I'm still controlling with my legs a little bit to just focus on a little bit of decompressing and see if I can breathe. Once you go too intense, too quick, your body's gonna go and your central nervous system doesn't agree with it. So it's gonna contract and be stiff. And then you're just sitting on really stiff contracted muscles. We can't do that. You're gonna cause pain. That's why all your stretching isn't working. So instead, I'm gonna control, relax, maybe wiggle a little bit, make sure I'm nice and loose, and I'm going to gently offload some of that weight and put it on my legs, and I'm gonna hang a little bit and let that low back relax. I can go through the same breathing process of breathing in, exhaling, but focusing on relaxing when you come out of it. Make sure you're nice and slow, nice and relaxed, and go short amounts of time. We're not trying to be here for 3, 4, 5 minutes, 30 seconds, 45 seconds, up or down, depending on your pain profile. Now, you may have been trying exercise. Maybe you're trying decompression, you're trying stretching, but despite this effort, you're still in chronic back pain. It's not that you're doing the wrong thing. It's just your body may need a little bit more attention in a different area first before things like this will actually work. Now, this kind of sounds complicated, but it's what I call the hybrid relief method, and it prioritizes exercise last. Exercise is the last thing you should be doing in a chronic back pain relief strategy. If you want to know exactly the 3 biggest factors of getting out of pain before you do exercise, go to fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. It's a free workshop. I break it all down in detail, giving you examples. Go watch it. It's yours free. If you're truly in chronic back pain, the medical model has failed you, you don't want to keep having injections or acupuncture or PT sessions that are not working for you, go watch this workshop. fitnessforbackpain.com/relief workshop. It's yours free. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next episode.